Okay, so we're going to look at what you need to do in order to finish the harmonics experiment with looking at the separate harmonics that occur within sort of waveforms and gathering some data on the values associated with all of those. Okay, and then that will go into your sheet. I've got a table sorted out for you, which is on the hub. So the first thing you need to do is get onto the hub, and down here, week 7 harmonics experiment, there's a link to this video, but then below that there's one that says worksheet harmonic content of waveforms. So if I just click on that, that downloads. I'll open that up, and there we can see the table that I want you to fill in. So we've got the 4 waveforms here: sine, sawtooth, triangle, square, and all you need to do here is take a look at the various harmonics associated with each waveform, using logic, using a synthesizer to generate the waveforms, and then using a frequency analyzer to find out what frequency the harmonics occur at, and then the amplitude of each of those harmonics, and that will be written down as a percentage of the fundamental. Okay, so for example, on the sawtooth, if the fundamental has an amplitude of, let's say, minus 20 dB, and then harmonic 2 has an amplitude of minus 26 dB, well, that's a difference of 6 decibels, and we know 6 decibel change is either double if it's positive or half if it's negative. So that's a negative change of 6 decibels, so that's half the value, so that would be 50%. Okay, and then looking at harmonic 3, harmonic 4, and going down the scale sort of onwards from there. So that's the first thing you need to do, is get this sheet. Once you have that, you need to open up Logic, and you'll be met with this. Start with an empty project. That will open up, and the first thing we want to create is a software instrument. So I'll just go ahead and click create. Now it automatically defaults to the electric piano plugin. I'm just going to get rid of the list there. Down here on the mixer where it says I/O, if we hold and click, or click and hold, what you want is the ES2 synthesizer, the ES2. Alright, and I'll launch that, and it looks a little bit like this. Okay, looks really complicated, but it's not. It's just got a lot of variables ready to go. So I'm just going to go through exactly how to sort of reset it so that you're just getting a pure waveform going in, and you do it like this. This word here where it says filter in green, click that, that switches the filter off, so we're not filtering out any frequencies from the waveform. Over here on the left hand side are 3 oscillators, okay, 1, 2 and 3. We're only going to want to use one oscillator here, so where it says 2 and 3, just click those off, and we get these Star Trek style shutters that tell us that we're not using those anymore. And then so this top one then becomes our oscillator, and you can see all the way around we have various different waveforms. The ones that you're interested in will be triangle, sawtooth, square, and then avoiding this one, that's just a variation on the square with different pulse width, so avoiding this one, and then sine at the top here. Okay, be careful not to go further, because then it starts to do frequency modulation, just straight on the sine wave there. And this is now ready to go. Down here, this is just basically a mixer that mixes between all 3 oscillators. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Just plonk that up the top. Yeah, so it's on 100%. That means that we're getting 100% of the first oscillator, no filter. We're ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to cross that away for now. I'm just going to change the loop region to 1 bar. I'm going to select the pencil tool and draw a region. Double clicking in there brings up the key editor. Okay, and I can press C3, and we can see that we're getting some signal going in there like so. So again, pencil tool, we're going to use C3 because that's essentially middle C. I'm going to draw it and then loop it, and then that loops round like so. Okay, I'm actually not getting any sound here, so I'm just going to double check and see if everything is set as it should be, which it is. Bring the volume up. Okay, and we can hear, you're hearing this through the built-in microphone on my laptop, so it's not that great, but we're getting the signal from the synthesizer playing through on a loop when we're doing that. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do, is just to set this up. Next thing is we need to put the frequency analyzer onto the channel, and that happens up in inserts. So we click and hold, scroll down to audio units and go to Blue Cat Audio, and it's the Blue Cat Freak Analyst. Click on stereo, and then we get this picture appear here, and this should look fairly familiar. It looks like an EQ graph essentially, or a frequency response chart. So from 10 to 22 are all of our frequencies. This button up here, the one that looks like a snowflake, that's the freeze button. So what we can do is we can lock the graph that appears, so that we can press stop and then do some analysis on the data that we get given. Okay. We want to turn off, down here in mode, we want to turn off peak, because that just keeps adding like sort of general EQ shape. We just want to see exactly what's going on, so leave it on instant. If I now press play, there we go, we can see what we've got. It jumps a little at the beginning, but don't worry about that too much. And then you can see we've got some sort of weird harmonics up here. It's because we're using a musical synthesizer. Okay, a musical synthesizer will add various little harmonics to help give it a bit of character. Okay, so ignore anything that looks like it's not really part of it, and we're just concerned with this. Now we're on the sine wave at the moment, so we've only got one harmonic. If I press the freeze, that freezes it in place. I can press stop, and then I can use this program to sort of zoom in and have a look at what frequency that looks to be. Okay, the scale's not that great, so you're going to have to do some sort of rough guessing here, and then having a look at where we are on amplitude as well, and that's currently, I would say, on -14. So it's something along those lines. Up here in the top left hand corner, we can zoom in and zoom out, so you can write down now in your harmonic content of waveforms what you think the frequency is and what you think the amplitude is in there. So the amplitude in this case will be 100%, because there's only one harmonic, and you just need to write down the frequency. Alright, so then you can go back into the synthesizer, ES2. By double clicking, we can change that to, let's say, sawtooth wave. Okay, now if I cross that away and press play, we can hear very noisy, a lot more content going on in there. If I open up the frequency analyst, take freeze off, oh, there we go, we can see we've got way more harmonics now on that sawtooth than we did on the sine. And again, you're just zooming in after you've frozen it and taking a look at where the frequencies of the harmonics are and what percentage of the original amplitudes the subsequent amplitudes are. So in this case, you've got the frequency here at that's now at -24. This next one is at -30, so there's a 6 decibels difference there, so that's halved in difference, so that's 50% or 1/2 of the amplitude there. And then moving along to these guys, -30, and then that's -34, so that's a 4 decibel change, but you add that to the original 6 decibel change, that's a difference of 10 decibels, so that's about a third of the amplitude, and so on and so forth. So that's the basics of it. You just need to keep having a look, noting down the frequency, noting down the percentage. If you can't work out the percentage straight away, just note down the decibel value of each, and then do the sums on that later on. But what you're looking to do this lesson is fill out this sheet as best you can up to harmonic 9, and then you need to be getting on with the rest of the assignment, ready to be handed in next week. Okay, so plenty to be getting on with. So yeah, good luck, and I'll catch you guys next week. Alright, thanks for listening.